yo, we're back at it again. You know, it's your boy Ray from Ray Ray's Podcast. This is another edition of Crosstalk. Today we got a two-man show. You know, it's me, Ray, and who else we got in here?
Hey, man, this Law Nation, man. You guys already know. We ready to get to it. It's the season. I can't wait for Cowboys, Browns, man. Let's get right to it.
That's it. We've been waiting all summer, all fall. It's here. Week 1 of the NFL, man. Hopefully we go out to Cleveland and get a dub. Cowboys Nation, make sure you're liking, subscribing, following all these videos we do where we have the different content creators come in. We talk all things Dallas Cowboys and sports-related things. This, like I said, today is just me and Law.
Hey,
we're rocking it.
Hey, man. Hey, dedication for the nation. So it's week 1, and we've been talking about contracts. But this is the first time we get a chance to talk about the fact that now CeeDee Lamb is already paid, right? Because on the last conversational piece, I think he wasn't paid at that time.
He was not paid? Nope.
Yeah. So CeeDee Lamb is paid. He's a very, very wealthy man. And shout out to Tory, his agent that really fights for contracts, and they got it done. What was it? Is $136 million collectively?
Yeah, collectively 4 years, 136, $100 million guaranteed. Guaranteed.
That's crazy.
You know, he got paid. Then shortly after that, you know, Brandon Ayuk got paid.
Come on with it.
Wasn't quite as much in the range of wasn't quite much CeeDee money.
Right.
But, you know, also the ongoing battle you have with Jamar Chase. They said the report is he wants 1 penny more. 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson. I mean, that's kind of petty. I'm all for it, though.
Yeah, Chase, to me, is one of the best wide receivers. Not saying that he is the best, but he's one of the better wide receivers in the league. And we've seen what he can do. Shout out to LSU and shout out to the Bengals. I think that he eventually is going to get his bag, and it's rightfully deserving. He got short area quickness, can take the top off the defense. You can put him in the backfield. Anything that Debo can do, he can do. Anything that CeeDee Lamb can do, he can do.
Yeah.
So Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. You know, he's the creme de la creme. But we got our version of Jamar Chase, and that is CeeDee Lamb, who is crazy good, athletic, and that he can fit right on into this particular system. Last year, he had a slow start, but I'm looking at it from the aspect after the 49ers game. No wide receiver in the history of the NFL put up numbers that he was able to accumulate. So shout out to CeeDee Lamb. I can't wait for this season to kick off and see what he can do.
CeeDee 2K. I'm calling
CeeDee 2K.
CeeDee 2K.
Come on with it.
Let's go.
Now, Mike McCarthy did come out this week and said he's on a pitch count.
Yeah.
Far as practicing.
Yeah.
Not a game. Practice. So we'll see, man, I think he's going to be fantastic because the Cowboys, by CeeDee Lamb being so versatile, he's always in the slot anyhow. So you really can't jam him. You really can't press him in the slot. So I think that, by him not having this training camp, he could have fresh legs and everyone else could be gasping.
You know, he's got a test week 1 right out the gate.
Yeah.
That Cleveland defense is a really good defense.
They are.
You got those corners in Newsome, Ward,
Emerson.
Emerson, yes.
Emerson.
That whole offense is going to be
Grant
tested.
Delpit, even in the safety room, and JOK from the linebacker, he can cover. And let's not leave out Warren Thornhill. So they got dogs all over that spot on that Browns team. So
it's going to be a very interesting interesting game, especially from the offensive standpoint.
Right.
A couple different things you want to look for in this game on offense.
Okay.
One of the first ones I'm looking for is the rookie, the big guy, Tyler Guyton.
Okay.
He's got a guy. He's gonna be going up against an All-Pro. And Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
That's why, and also another conversation I was going to get into is the running back rotation.
Right.
I think we may see more of Zeke in this game just for the simple pass pro. You have a rookie going against an all-pro, you know, left tackle there. You know, have, you know, Zeke in there getting those little chip blocks. You know, kind of help a little bit, you know, Guyton, or maybe we have another tight end, you know.
Right.
Or something. We don't know until the game actually happens and see, you know, how well, you know, Tyler Guyton goes against Myles Garrett. But in my mindset, just because of that defense they have, I think we may see a little bit more of Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
But they're saying Rico is supposed to be the RB1, okay? But one of the things, I know it's the unofficial depth chart they got released.
Right.
Yesterday they had Zeke,
Right.
Rico, Hunter Lipke. That was your 3 running backs on the depth chart, which I thought that was kind of interesting to me. Another thing that was interesting to me on the depth chart, it had Leofau starting over Sean, according to the depth chart.
The unofficial
The
depth
unofficial.
chart.
Like I said, it's unofficial. We're not saying that's what's going to happen. It's just the way it's listed, right now.
Well, things are subject to change. Yeah. And when we talking about, we're going to pick up off on Tyler Guyton first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tyler Guyton, we know that he's a rookie, and we know he need a fresh and good start, but he got to get battle tested with Myles Garrett, right? Number 95, everybody know who he is. And then he's not, Myles Garrett is just not one piece that's going to stay on one side. They move him around at LOS, and he can play on any spot on that LOS. And they have Dalvin Thomason that's inside, a bigger guy. They have Z Smith that's on the other side. So you got a veteran defensive line group that they going to find the weakest spot on the team. And it's like, hey, they got to say it out here, Ray, that you are only strong as your weakest link, right? So they're going to find that weak spot somewhere on that offensive front five, and that's what they're looking for. So if you have Zeke out there who can chip, if you have Luke Schoonmaker, who's a good blocker for the Cowboys in the tight end room, maybe we have to do more 12 personnel and sacrifice a receiver on the outside to bring in help inside. Maybe we can see 22 personnel. I don't know, but you got to have physicality versus the Browns because they're going to meet you with those expectations that they're going to bring on physicality. So, this could be a game whereas you see more of Zeke play, not for running the ball, but for blocking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly what I thought too. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see that running back rotation.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think whoever has a hot hand is
feed
the
most
of the touches.
Whoever has the hot hand, feed the man.
Feed the man. There we go too. But also when it comes to pass pro, like I said, I think Zeke is going to be out there more helping because he has a lot more experience compared to all the other backs besides Dalvin Cook. Yeah. On his roster. Let's flip it to the other side of the ball.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly where I was going to go because we looked at that chart and we seen Leofau ahead of Overshown. Mm-hmm. But I think that a lot of people, this is not about talent. This is more so about security, meaning that, my guy, he had a hip pointer. So those hip pointers can linger. Mm-hmm. They slowly trying to bring him into the folds. I'm talking about Overshown, by the way. So that's why you see 35 ahead of 13, which is Leofau, who is 35. So we look at those small things, and, of course, he's coming off of an ACL deal, right? Yeah. So they don't want to rush him out there. Say, hey, just for name's sake, let's put Overshown out there. No, he's going to have his time to shine.
Yeah,
this year.
Let's go ahead and just switch to the whole defensive side of the ball.
Okay, all right.
A couple of things, in my opinion, it's always been the thing with this defense for the last couple of years. Has been an issue. Stopping the run, I think, is going to be a big major factor in this game.
Right.
You able to stop the run, that's going to help you be able to take Deshaun Watson out the game.
Correct.
Because he's been having his struggles the last couple of seasons. Since that trade to Cleveland, he set out all that time for all that situation in Houston.
Yeah.
A little bit too much time away from the field.
Yeah.
Because you saw in Houston, man, he was a great quarterback. He was great out in Houston. Then everything went south, and he hasn't really clicked for him in Cleveland.
Right.
They got, that team had some issues. They tried to trade their number one receiver away for Brandon Ayuk. The report came out. They offered a Cooper, a second, and a third for Ayuk. But they also did make a trade. They got Jerry Jeudy. Mm-hmm. They brought him in from Denver. So I wonder if he can be able to play well next to an Amari Cooper. Maybe his game can go to the next level. Because I think they would have signed him to an extension as well, too, if I believe.
So it was a sign and extend. I would say this, though. Injuries, we battled through the wars of attrition. And Deshaun Watson, he's been one of those guys that's been on the wrong end of injuries. But when he was the starter last year, they were 5-1. So I do look into those particular parameters. And Amari Cooper, he's no one to sneeze at when he's out there on the field because he got short area quickness. He can take the top off the defense, and he's a physical type of corner or wide receiver, at the top of his route. So the cornerback got to be mindful of that. I would do this. We know that Jerry Jeudy is a route guy, and we know that Jerry Jeudy, every time he plays us, he kind of bring everything when he was in Denver. He brings everything. Like Jerry Jeudy, he ain't going to do anything. He's coming off of an injury. But all of a sudden we looked up, Jerry Jeudy is knifing and carving up us because everybody gears up to play the Cowboys. And Jerry Jeudy is one of those wide receivers that I think that the Cowboys should bracket cover him, have a man underneath over top, and we would just roll coverage Amari Cooper's way. That will be the game plan. But then they have David Njoku. This is going to be a situation whereas Zim is going to have to let these dogs be dogs at that safety spot and man-to-man and man that thing up with David Njoku. And they have a sneaky guy, shout out to my Mississippi boys, Elijah Moore. He's quick. He take the top off the defense as well. He's not a guy that you can say, okay, he the end-all, be-all, but he's the element of surprise guy.
And then what I feel like, you was talking about Jerry Jeudy, I feel like the main person that's going to be covering, he's coming out the gates as a rookie, Kalen Carson. I feel like his main cover probably is going to be Jerry Jeudy. So it's going to be a big test, week one for Kalen Carson. We're throwing him in the frying pan, and see what he's going to get because, of course, Diggs probably going to cover Amari most of the time, which we're looking to see our guy Diggs back on the field. Hopefully we get the INTs come back. Because we need my guy Diggs, man, to be out there, and we need that Bama on Bama crime to be really the thing out there because you're gonna see Jerry Jeudy, Roll Tide, my guy Amari Cooper, Roll Tide, and Diggs. We just got the best Roll Tide over here, yes,
so we need for that brother from another mother, no other. Don't look like Danny Glover to stand tall or not at all. On top of that, I want you guys to be mindful that this is his first game back. So Zim and Al Harris, don't put him on Allen by himself. Roll coverage, have a safety help over the top because I need for him to continue to have his confidence, right? And I need for us to shatter the confidence of Amari Cooper, if possible, And I get excited when I talk about these type of things because I think the world of Carson's. But let's not get too crazy with him because he is a rookie, right? Yeah. And just make sure you have safety help over the top, too. We got two safeties, by the way, so it could be possible. So if anybody, I'm looking to have a great game this game, it's the person that we didn't bring up yet. And I'm rubbing my hand together. And his name is J-Lou. I think that J-Lou had a phenomenal camp. He fits right into this system. He was one of the guys that I talked to out there in Oxnard, and he said, I can't wait to be in this system because you can see my full potential in Zim's system because I can play my best ball, and that's closer to the LOS as well. So I can't wait to see him out there and see whether or not he can lock down more and we don't have to worry about everything else.
Yeah. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to. There's a couple of matchups and a couple of things as far as rotations in the defense I'm looking for.
Okay.
The linebacker rotation, I'm definitely looking forward to that. To see how Jim's going to play with those different chess pieces he has now in that linebacker room because now we have a linebacker room, guys.
We do.
We've got a full-fledged linebacker room.
Right? We don't have safeties playing linebackers, man. Come on with it.
Come on there, right? And also I'm looking forward to rotation of the defensive ends, defensive fronts. Also on that unofficial depth chart, it had Mozzie and Osa, which we knew Osa was going to start.
Right.
And it listed Micah as a starting edge across from DeMarcus Lawrence.
Right.
So I want to see, when is it going to factor in, okay, when Marshawn Nealon, when is he going to get on the field and things of that nature? Like, how are they going to do that whole rotation of the defensive line? Because last year, I would say we had some depth at the defensive line or edge, whatever position you want to call it.
Spot, yeah.
You had a rotation between Fowler,
Armstrong,
Lawrence, Micah Parsons here and there, Sam Williams. He didn't get a lot. I don't think Sam Williams got enough playing time last year, but when he was in there, I think he made some plays.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in seeing that aspect with that edge position because we need to get Nealon. He needs to get those reps.
He got to, and building the plane as we fly is what happened to him. I didn't think that they thought, or they didn't even think to give him this many reps, because when Sam Williams went down, they said, dog, he was going to be 7 to 75% of the plan as it relates to this defense. And they was going to slowly bring Nealon on, but next man up, now he's going to get those necessary reps. And we seen the Cowboys been trying to put a Band-Aid over this bullet wound by going out getting some guys that's long in the tooth, like a Muhammad, like a Tony guy who got released. And then they brought in Carl Lawson, realized that he was in nobody's training camp and he's out of shape. So he's on the practice squad for a ramp-up situation. So we going out there razor blade thin at edge rush because we got D-Law, we got Micah Parsons, who will be utilized everywhere on the field, not just Jermaine to one spot. So now we got that part of it. Like, these guys got to stand up.
Yeah.
Whether it's a 99 like Chauncey, whether it's a Marshawn Nealon, MK, Ultra. We need you, dog. We need you out there.
And especially, like I said, I talked about earlier, stopping the run. I think Nealon's going to be huge in helping us set that edge to stop that run. Then you got the big boys. You signed your Linval Josephs and you traded for Jordan Phillips. We're going to see. Are those guys going to make a difference helping us stop that run? Because we've been seeing over the
gashing.
Anybody can run.
Gap, A and B gap stops been one of our issues here. There have been some claims of Osa. Yes, he's great at pass rushing from the inside, and he rarely get home, but he generates pressure. But can he stop blocks? Can he stop runs? Can he fill gaps and stuff like that? And those been reservations because he is on a lighter side as it relates to a 3-tech. So what the Cowboys did was, okay, we get all of that, but let's bring in a guy that's 6'7", 340 pounds, and that can play 3-tech. And that's who Jordan Phillips is. He's going to be the guy that's going to fit right on in and be their rotational piece so that when my guy Osa is gassed, then you can put in him. Or they got packages where you can have Osa and him out there on the field. And they got other packages where Mozzie as well as Linval Joseph. So, and I think Linval Joseph is a guy that's going to pour upon wisdom and understanding and knowledge of the game to my guy Mozzie.
Yeah.
But, we will see, man. It's been up and down with the fans and up and down with the media perceptions of Mozzie, whether he gives up on plays and things like that. But time will tell it all this Sunday.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, you got a coach in Zimmer. He ain't going to tolerate no he ain't tolerating no mess from nobody. One of the things I'm also going to be looking forward to is with the receivers. CeeDee missed most of training camp because, he's trying to get his dollars, respectfully. Then Brandon Cooks missed time with injury. So I wonder if some of these younger cats are going to get some significant playing time in this week one because a lot of those guys were in the camp day in, day out. Like, I want to see my guy Ryan Flanoy hit the field. I want to see what he does. I want him to, kind of work his way into being that because you still got the wide receiver 3 position right now. I guess right now it's Jalen Tolbert's job.
Tolbert.
If he doesn't produce, someone can come in and take that job away from him. So there's a lot of things there, Brandon Cooks too. Like, I mean, if he doesn't perform, his job could be for the taking as well too. So I'm interested to see what some of these young wide receivers do with more actual in-game playing time versus just a preseason and training camp.
I would be surprised to see Flo get a meaningful rep this game. So far they have, like you said, Lamb, Cooks, and then you have Tolbert. And then you have, and I'm not using him as gadget guy, but he's the gadget guy, Vontae Turpin, But to be mindful of this, we saw in training camp that they put Turpin at running back sometimes.
Yeah, we saw that,
to stretch the field. All right, and then from there you have Jalen Brooks. So where do you put Flo in? Maybe he can give a special teams play. Maybe he can give us some red zone stuff. I don't know, But as of right now, the number one guy is Lamb, and then the number two guy is Cooks.
Cooks, for sure.
And in my opinion, the number two guy is not even a wide receiver.
No, it's Jay Ferg. Iceberg
Ferg.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's my guy. So I have order of operations.
Yeah.
When I look at the game, I'm yelling at the screen and I'm saying, Dak Prescott first read should be these two guys. Ferg, Lamb, Ferg. Everybody else ancillary pieces. And there's nothing wrong with ancillary. Yeah. You don't want to have too many options. But I don't blame the coordinator if he can just look at this thing and say, Lamb, Ferg, Lamb, Ferg, and everybody else can be some ancillary pieces to help this offense go. And that's when we had our best offense last year, is when you focus on those two.
Yes. We're talking about that too, but we're talking about we're watching, getting ready to watch this game. Another thing we're watching out for: when is his contract gonna drop? Is it gonna be this week before this game starts? I'm praying that it is done this week, so there's no distractions going into the season. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have already talked about this on their channels and different videos already. Talking about the short, the report from Diana Rossini is, the number of years is to hold up on this deal.
Yeah.
They're saying now Dak wants a long-term deal.
Right.
They said he wanted a short-term so he could get paid again.
Right.
They said he kind of want to double dip. And I think from Dallas, from a standpoint, okay, we pay all this guy big money.
Right.
We don't have any playoff success to prove for it, which I can understand that, okay?
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like, okay, yes, he's been phenomenal for us in the regular season.
Correct.
But, we've had that with quarterbacks before. Right. Tony Romo got paid. He didn't have that much success in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let's come on. We can't use it as an argument here. Ideally, if I was a person, okay, let's meet in the middle. 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
One argument is someone saying that, the Joneses want short years, which would be beneficial to Dak Prescott and his agent to get back in front of the money, right?
Yeah.
For another deal.
Yeah.
And then they're saying that Dak Prescott camp want longer deal, right? So I think that what all of this is, the deal is already set in stone, right? And they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. And it's just like when you get pre-approved for a home and you went through everything and they're talking, well, you pre-approved and you already approved. The underwriter's ready to cut the check or what have you, and they gave you the deal here. And now you going back and forth to whether or not you're going to do 30-year mortgage or 15-year mortgage, right? So the house is yours. It's just which part of how you want to pay off on the house and how many notes you're looking to pay and what you're willing to pay for it. But you already approved.
Yeah.
So I think that this deal somewhere in the middle is where they're going to reach so that it looks like, hey, you didn't lose, I didn't lose. Yeah. We met in the middle. And let's go ahead and do a handshake and let's get things going,
Okay. So as soon as they able to get this deal done, hopefully this week, that's what we're all hoping for this week, how soon do you think we transition into Michael's deal? Because we talked about, I don't know if we talked about this on air, we talked about it earlier, Patrick Surtain just got his new deal.
Right.
He was a part of that draft class that Michael Parsons was in, all right? I think is he the first person from that draft class to get paid yet? I don't know. I can't really quite remember.
It was somebody else I know for sure. But yeah, go ahead.
Surtain just got paid. He's got his money. Micah, he's gonna be looking for his money next year. Even though they still will have another year of control of Micah, I think he wants to go ahead and get the deal done, get it out of the way. How fast do we pivot from that to Micah? Or how do we know they haven't had any discussions already preliminary with Micah yet?
All I know is the earlier you get to the table with the agreement, the less money it will be. The longer you wait, the more money it will be. Yeah. And salute to Tory Dandy for getting this contract done for CeeDee Lamb, because now we don't have to worry about that. And then salute to Tory Dandy for also getting Patrick Surtain done. So Tory been on a real good signing spree with all of his agents, with all of his players, and I didn't know he is also the agent of AJ Brown. So Tory, man, Hook a brother up, man. Let me hold about a few dollars. So I forgot who's Michael Parsons' agent. I think it's David Mugala. And David, he's just as notorious as Tory about his players. And David is not going to play around with, hey, this and that. He's going to want the highest and the top dollars for his client. So I think that this deal, if it's not done now, because I know the Cowboys like to work at one contract at a time, because they operate like a mom and pops. This is the situation that Parsons, when it's time for him to get paid, we're going to look at something similar to what Pat Surtain just got. Mm-hmm. The highest paid for that position. Yeah. And I think Parsons is listed as a defensive edge guy. Okay. So it's going to be north of whatever Bosa got.
I'm about to say we have to be north for Bosa because he was, at the time, the highest paid for the position. So, man, hopefully, we don't repeat what we've done this offseason, dragging along. Yeah. Because I think Michael's a guy, he's like, I ain't showing up. He wouldn't show up. I think he's going to.
Right. Yeah. I've seen Michael Parsons complain about price tags, paying prices for Universal Studio in Florida, whatever that's at. Yeah. So I know he's going to be looking for to get his coins. Yeah. And I would say this, look, let's not beat him up. That's just how the flow of the business is, because he's going to produce this year, and I can't wait to see his numbers and everything. But you're going to have to pay Parsons. He's generationally talented there, and I think that he's going to bring a lot to the table this year. You may see Parsons play his best football ever, because the creativity, the way that Zim is going to utilize him, not just to one spot. Mm-hmm. He's literally everywhere, and they're going to find the chink in someone's armor, and they're going to penetrate right there and get to the quarterback.
All right. So let's switch gears right here. Mm-hmm. I want to do this little segment I do. It's called
Brother, what's that?
What's that?
What's that, brother?
That's what is the worst take I've heard in the past week. Here's what it is. If you go back to last week, I was having a little text battle on 105.3 The Fan on a late night show one day. Then I've been seeing it on Twitter too. There are a lot of people that think the Dallas Cowboys won't make the playoffs. Man. I've been seeing that. I'm like, wow. Like, how do you fathom that? And I was looking at some of the other teams they've had. I'm like, you say this team's going to make it over the Cowboys? Right. In the postseason, they're going to make it to the playoffs before the Cowboys. Let's take a quick dive, all right? Maybe the Eagles are probably the only team that's got significantly better in our division. Right. Okay? Let's start with the Eagles. They brought in Saquon Barkley. Okay. But let's take a look on the other side of that. Your corners, your defense is still Swiss cheese.
Yeah. I get this all the time.
Yeah.
The Eagles make a lot of moves during the offseason that get pumped up and talked about. And just like Darius Leonard last year, and everybody was talking about this guy is going to be phenomenal. I think that was midseason, and then there was the Bird kid, the safety there. And none of those guys panned out. And I'm not saying that these guys that they brought in now will not pan out. But all I heard since Saquon Barkley been in the league is that he's better than Ezekiel Elliott. He's the best running back that God ever created for the NFC East. And he's like 0-6 or 0-7 versus the Cowboys. Yeah. And now I get it, it's a team thing. And that was when he was with the Giants, right? So now he goes to the Eagles land, and they surprisingly supposed to have a better offensive line. But they got damn Kellen Moore calling the plays, though. He's not a run guy, you know. And I'm not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater with this conversation. And I'm definitely not finna say that Devin White is someone to sneeze at, but damn it, he's not even playing week one because he got injuries. So it's one of those things where they get all of this hype, but who is to fear on the Eagles defense?
Nobody. You still got Bradbury, which thank you, CeeDee loves.
Thank you, Bradbury.
Thank you. Cooper DeJean, rookie.
Right.
And yeah, I can't remember else who they have on their DBs, but I don't see how you say, okay, that team was significantly more better.
Right.
I don't think they got. I think they may have gotten worse if they.
Right.
Okay? Maybe they added a better running back, but
I mean, come on. You're only good as your availability, and then that is a pretty much real thing to say that, Saquon Barkley, his availability is a liability because he's never available. So I just don't think just by changing the uniform that all of a sudden he stays healthy. Now, I'm not, and I like Saquon Barkley. I'm not saying that he won't be this or that, but I'm just saying that for the Cowboys to pretty much collectively keep the same team, minus what we had Tyron Smith gone, Tyler Biadasz, he's gone. Of course, that's not a real big. I'm missing Tyler Biadasz.
Yeah.
And who else? Tony Pollard.
Upgraded.
Tony Pollard and Michael Gallup. He just retired.
Yeah.
And Michael Gallup last year was banging on the table saying that even Jalen Tolbert, this wasn't tongue in cheek, is better than me. You know what I'm saying? But by politics and money, they put Gallup out there.
Yep.
Not no shade at you, Gallup, because I know you watch the show.
Yeah.
We still got love for you, bro.
Yeah. Then let's move on to the Commanders, rookie quarterback, first year head coach for that team. And we saw what that defense did here. We had I feel like he has a less talented players on that defense that he had here in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So you're expecting that to be, better than Dallas. Okay. Then let's go to the Giants. The quarterback's Daniel Jones. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to move on. We're going to move on from that.
Well, it's crazy, though, and I get it. Every year, the Cowboys are expected to have the best roster ever, right? And expected to go to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl or bust every year.
Yeah.
But we read in the power rankings, we rank 19th. Right, in certain sectors, they got us ranked 19th. I think Pro Football Talk, and like you said, Good Morning Football and a few other people said that the Cowboys will not even make it to the postseason.
Yeah,
but when we make it to the postseason, we're supposed to win all of the postseason games.
Yeah,
but the expectations for us right now before season kickoff is for us not to even make it.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So I would say this, though. I think that the talent is here. I think we are still a 10-plus win team. And if everyone can stay healthy, just look out for us in the postseason.
All right. So, Law, it's time for
Ray's podcast presents In the Eyes of the Law with Law Nation.
Yeah.
Law. All right, from your point of view, from your eyes, tell us who needs to have a great game week 1 for the Dallas Cowboys.
And he's wearing number 4, Rain Dakota Prescott. The Cowboys, of course, the last time we saw him, people were talking about the 2 INTs. People were talking about the game, the Green Bay Packers, and he was the guy that folded like a wallet or a cheap tent. So Dak Prescott, he got to have a great game for the start. We playing against a dominant defensive-led team, right? And we're playing against a situation whereas the contracts, if the contract's still not signed, they're going to be talking about the ideology that he don't deserve the money, right? And then if the contract is signed, right, we'll be talking about can he live up to the expectations of getting the money. So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. So Dak Prescott, he got to put the Dallas Cowboys on his back, and not just 4. 88 got to be in the mix too, because now the expectation since the Cowboys gave this man north of $100 million, right? They're going to be looking for 88 to shine. So 488, those are your 2 guys that got to stand tall in this game. Oh, and let me not leave out this one guy that went to the Ohio State. He is back in the mix. His name is Ezekiel Elijah Elliott. Changed the number from 21 to 15 here. So a lot of people will be looking at him and seeing what he can do on this offensive team. So those are the 3 guys that in the eyes of Law They got to perform and show up and be ready. Now, although I truly believe that this is the ultimate team sport and this is the game that everybody got to have their hands in the mix, but primarily, those three guys, everybody's going to be looking for them to stand tall or not at all.
Man, there we go. In the eyes of the law.
In the eyes of the law.
And that's law.
And remember.
And remember.
Yes,
okay.
Indeed.
Real quick, and we're going to wrap up here.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for the game?
All right. This is the good time. If we start off the way I think we can, I think we score north of 21 points. I know the first game is always the shadowy place of a game. So I would say 24-13. Cowboys, let's go, baby. Okay. Let's go. Victorious. Let's be 1-0 week 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had 28.
Okay.
20.
Ooh.
28-20 Dallas.
There's going to be a lot of spitting from the defensive coach, Mike Zim.
Yeah,
on the sideline when they're giving up 20 points.
Yeah. Right now, Cleveland's favored by -2.5.
Okay.
Vegas, I think, if I forgot the over-under, it was like 42, 48. I can't remember what the over-under is, but I think they definitely hit that over-under.
Right.
But I think Dallas takes away with it.
Okay.
Maybe. 28-20. That's my score.
So 24-13, and you got 28-20.
28-20.
Let's see who's right, man. Who's closer with that margin there. But, hey, we both got the Dallas Cowboys winning, and let's go.
Let's go. Again, make sure you're following all of us, Law Nation Sports, on social media at Laws Nation.
Yeah.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that. Follow this man, doing a bunch of great work, man. He keeps doing it. Make sure you watch these crosstalk episodes. We do these, try to do these every week now. Now that we're in the season, go back to some of these, watch these prior episodes. If you're not familiar with the crosstalk yet, watch those to see how all the different content creators we've had on there. And like I said, we're going to be swapping this out throughout the season. Me and follow us, @RayRays_podcast on Instagram. Go to YouTube, Ray Rays Podcast. All the other social medias, Ray Rays Podcast. Make sure you liking, subscribing, follow. Hit that bell. So as soon as this video drops, you own it right there. You're going to get it, all right?
No doubt, man. And I just got to give one shout out. Shout out to 97.9 The Beat. We're live there this week, so be sure to check out 97.9 The Beat. Me and Jazzy Black, we did an unbelievable segment about this whole conversational piece. On top of that, let me give a shout out to Maisha as well as Sanaya. Both of the teams of Laws, I appreciate what they do with all of the hard work and dedication for the nation. Let's get it.
Man, let's get it. Week 1 is here. Man, let's do it. Like I said, we'll get this dub. Normally when I start Ray Ray's podcast, I start off with positive words. And I do some positive words on crosstalk. I forgot to start off this way, but we're going to end it with some positive words, all right? In case someone told you today, you're beautiful.
Facts.
We are proud of you, okay? Your feelings matter, and you will succeed. Cowboys Nation, we still them boys. Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Here we
Let's
go.
get that dub. We out.
Let's go. Peace.
Hey.
Get money all day, get money all night. Sip my drink, ho, let's get right. Getting paid.